What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. Well, Happy New Year. We are officially in 2023. The nightmare that is 2022 is finally over. It is in the rearview mirror, and I would like to think that 2023, at least optimistically, is going to be better than 2022. But I think I'll be wrong. So in order to make myself feel better, I'm going to milk this thing at least one more time. 5 biggest things that I am excited for in 2023. So let's go ahead and take a look at what some of those things will be. I have my list right here in front of you so you can follow along. And yeah, we'll just dive in. So the first part is, or the first one, and again, this isn't in any particular order, but I guess it is, just not it. It's in an order that means something to me, but not like, you know, priority list. So number 1 is the end of Chaos Legion, which is set to be in Q1. It's either going to be March 31st or sooner, based on if we sell more packs or if we go up until the final burn, that will be March 31st. So really, like exactly 3 months from today. I'm recording this on January 1st. So why am I excited for this? We've heard that in the past there have been some major market moves, major euphoria, major FOMO that happens when a set is complete. And an optimistic part of me, cautiously optimistic part of me, is actually hopeful that we get to see something like that in Q2. Now, again, this is obviously we're going to have Q1 when this ends. And so there's going to be like a 3-month period in which there are no packs available and no new set available. And obviously Rebellion is the one that's coming out, and that's point number 2, but it's actually a separate point, which I'll get into. What I'm focusing on here for this first thing is the end of Chaos Legion and what that could do to stimulate the economy, create some FOMO, create some hype within the player base, which is totally, in my opinion, checked out right now. Granted, it is the holidays, so I did think we needed to get through this time period, and we'll see what the town hall brings tomorrow in terms of a new, a new kind of timeline, roadmap, and updates that we can expect for Q1 as well as the rest of the year. So I'm actually hopeful. This is actually the one thing I'm looking forward to the most, because if we can, get some ducks. We don't need to get all the ducks in order, but if we can get some ducks in order by the end of Q1, by the time Chaos Legion sells out. And what are these ducks that I'm hoping for? Guild alliances would be great. A battle pass would be great. New game features would be great. Soulbound cards. There's a bunch of things that I'm hoping we can hit in Q1 that would, coincide with the end of Chaos Legion being sold or burned, and create that kind of momentum within a bear market. Because I still think, at least for the first half of this year, that the macro global economy is going to be in a downswing. They haven't changed their minds. They haven't changed their approach on interest rates just yet. Inflation is still high. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. But within that downtrend, if we can be that green candle, and this is why I keep talking about it, if we can be that green candle in a sea of red, that could bring a lot of interest. And so again, we don't need to have everything fixed, but if we can get some ducks in order, especially game features that everybody's clamoring for, that would be great. Because if there is some kind of pump, if there is some kind of FOMO and hype at the end of Q1 or at the end of whenever Chaos Legion sells out, we could get some new players. We could get some new players that see an opportunity here, that want to get in. They see prices going up. Again, I don't know. I'm being cautiously optimistic, because I am not sure if there's just too many packs and if players are just completely disengaged. But we'll see how things roll. Okay, number 2, Rebellion. And again, I know this may seem like it's related to the first one, but it's not, because the things that I'm excited for with Rebellion are really the rotation of Untamed and Dice out of Modern League. I'm just tired of seeing those cards. I'm tired of not having them or them being too expensive. So I am looking forward to a new set and hopefully some new game, not like game mechanics. We'll put it that way. That the team can implement it. And the reason I'm saying this is because Matt brought that up in one of the more recent town halls, not the most recent one, but the one that he was on, where he said he doesn't want to wait for land to enter in more like game mechanics. And I think the best example he gave was like the seventh man rule set, where you would have a seventh card that's just sitting on the bench, and as soon as the monster of yours dies, that monster comes in, takes its place, or goes to the end of your lineup, and it's just like it's a change to the game mechanics, but it adds something extra, something spicy to the meta that is vastly different than, all of the little minor tweaks and changes that we've gotten in the past 18 months that I've been here. So that's what I'm looking forward to with Rebellion. Again, I'm not looking forward to spending another $5,000 to max out a set, especially since I haven't even maxed out Chaos Legion. But at the very least, it will provide a new meta. It'll provide new cards, new abilities, and just something different. And that's probably set for Q2. I should have put, well, I guess I don't need time frames for all of these. But, if we do sell out in Q1 sometime, the team is expecting there to be a 3-month period, or at least that's what they've said in passing. Again, none of this confirmed, but in passing, that they would want to have like a 9-month release schedule followed by a 3-month off. So if they follow that rule, which they haven't specifically said for Rebellion, that's what they're going to do. But if they follow that rule, we can expect it sometime over the summer, end of Q2 or early Q3. And they did say that in a post that that's the expectation of when they would like to get Rebellion out. So number 3, Tower Defense and Genesis League goals. Now, this has nothing to do with Splinterlands, the game itself, but within the network, within the platform that is Splinterlands. And shout out to Foye, he calls this the flywheel, right? Where Splinterlands is not just a game, it is a platform that will be launching other games and other platforms, essentially, right? Genesis League is supposed to be its own sports platform, and Genesis League goals is just the first game on that. So I'm hopeful that we get these out in Q1 as was originally intended and originally targeted. I am waiting to hear bad news tomorrow. I'm fully expecting to hear bad news of either delays, it being put on a shelf, it potentially being canceled. I have no idea because we haven't heard anything, right? So I'm just mentally preparing myself for there to be bad news about these. But if there isn't bad news, I am very excited for where both of these can impact the game and the game economy overall. If anything, they're just going to be new, fun games to play that coexist or exist within the Splinterlands ecosystem. And that's, to me, the meta game of the ecosystem is way more fun in many ways, right? So I'll be curious to see how Tower Defense kind of integrates itself with that. And then, of course, Genesis League Goals is its own thing. But, the optimist in me says if Genesis League Goals can take off and GLX starts to rise in value because of utility, because of the flywheel there for GLUSD, that could raise things for SPS, raise the APR for SPS and kind of the utility that SPS has. But again, that may not happen for 3 months, 6 months. And again, if there's further delays, these may be things that could get pushed to 2024. Who knows? But hopefully we'll get some kind of time frame for them on the updated roadmaps that come out tomorrow. Okay, number 4. The Battle Pass, 2v2, and essentially any new features that have been hinted at by Weirdbeard. Now, we know Weirdbeard is championing a bunch of really cool game updates. He is totally focused in on that. None of these that have been mentioned either here or on streams or anytime he's spoken are guaranteed or confirmed. But I would say that I don't think Aggie would waste Weirdbeard's time and the community's time sending Weirdbeard into the salt mines to get firsthand feedback on what the community would like to see, what the players in the game would like to see when it comes to a lot of these new features. So obviously the Battle Pass has picked up a lot of steam, both externally and internally with the team. I would love to see a 2v2 option or something like that. But overall, like any new features that come in for Splinterlands, the game specifically, right? Any new features that come in to spice it up, to add some value to it, and again, just to make it something fun. I'm a current player, so what I want is a better game right now. Obviously, I also want higher earnings, but as I've said before, it's the features that keep the players, right? Keep the players engaged, or the players that come in has them stay. But I'm at that point right now where I want to see some of these features. It's been 18 months. Nothing's really changed. We've just seen assets go down in value. I am willing to potentially ride this out for, the next year or two to see how it responds to the next Bitcoin halving and a potential bull run. But in the meantime, I would love to see some better game features. So hopefully we can get something along those lines within Q1. Would be fantastic. But I'll be okay if they push it to Q2, just because who knows? Like, I really don't know what the resource capacity is for the team right now. So I don't want to, what I'm trying to do is, this isn't to throw shade on them. This is just to be honest and kind of set my own expectations in a realistic way. Right. So obviously there's a lot that they're focusing on, and, we'll see how things play out. Okay, number 5 is one that I wanted to add on here because it's a little outside the box, and I don't know if it's something that I'm necessarily excited for, if that's the perfect word for it. But I do expect there to be some kind of capitulation in 2023. I'm hopeful that we see a bottom to the bear market on the macro side, but also within the Splinterlands ecosystem. I'm hopeful that the team can get the economy, excuse me. I'm hopeful that the team can get the economy in a stronger place within this year at some point. Because I maintain, the bullish side. If I want to be blindly bullish, there is a strong possibility that rising tide raises all ships, and a bull market comes back around, and it makes people, throw it just brings in dumb money that doesn't realize, the problems that exist within the game and within the ecosystem. So that could help, but I would rather not rely on dumb money coming in 2024 and beyond. I would rather the game actually be something robust and lead the industry, rather than just be carried as dead weight while all these other games really start to take off and drive the industry forward in 2023. So when I'm looking at capitulation, there are 2 timeframes in which I think we could see that happen. So I'm not saying that it's like a double bottom. I'm just saying that there could be some interesting time frames that happen within this game. So the first of which, and this is an interesting kind of like back and forth that I'm having, or that I had with Gold Matters. So shout out to Gold Matters on Twitter the other day. But, Gold Matters is saying that capitulation is happening right now. And it's very, very hard to disagree with him. Because, a bunch of my guild mates have left, like the owners of the guild have decided to just like peace out. I've seen a lot of other people quit the game. You've seen a lot less content on here. I'm always looking for content creators, and I'm not trying to, I know it's the holidays too, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. Obviously I was slow on content as well. But point being is it just feels like people are less engaged right now. So I don't know that this is necessarily capitulation. I'm not saying that I agree with Gold Matters. I'm just saying that it's hard to disagree with him. We'll see what kind of momentum and hype the first town hall tomorrow can bring, in the first week or month coming out of the holidays, coming into the new year, can bring for the community, for the game overall. But this could be the first time for capitulation. Again, that's not my time frame. My time frame actually exists, going back to point 1, at the end of Chaos Legion. Now, why is this so important to me? It's because, once again, I'm trying to zig where others are. Well, that's not the right thing. I'm just trying to look at the counter narrative, right? Everybody thinks that at the end of a cycle, or at the end of a card or set cycle, right? End of a set. That asset prices go up in value, and we're going to see packs do X's and increases. We're going to see cards, that are completely deflationary go up in value and all this. Everybody's expecting that. I even said at the beginning of the video that I'm looking forward to that. I'm hopeful and optimistic that we get it. But I also, from the counter narrative side, look at that and say, well, if it doesn't happen, how many people are going to be like, oh, this project's really dead? Like, now it's like dead now. I get it, right? Everybody who's exiting like a year ago, I should have listened to them, right? Because if we get to that point and Chaos Legion packs are still selling for $1.50 on the secondary market, there's no more available, but people bought so much that they're still selling for $1.50. All of the reward cards are still selling for pennies because there's still so many of them, and new players aren't coming in. That could be a major capitulation point. And I've been talking about this for a while, but obviously with the Chaos Legion pack burning, we have a time frame for when that could be, which is essentially Q2, right? At the end of end of Q1, or we go all the way to March 31st, it's all of Q2 that could be similar to what we had when Untamed sold out. But if there's not that same hype and euphoria, and I am not expecting the same level by any means, because we're not in a bull run, but I am hoping that there is something. But if there's nothing or close to nothing, that is a major capitulation point. The second one comes later on this year. So it all depends on what happens with the Rebellion. Now, I'm assuming Rebellion comes out sometime over the summer. July seems like the time frame, if there's like a 3-month gap between the end of Chaos and the rise of Rebellion. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just calling it that. That's not what they're going to call it. But if Rebellion comes out in Q3 and it just doesn't hit in the same way. Okay. So people have been burned. A lot of people have left that are not coming back. New players are not coming into the game because the market, again, global macro is really punishing the market. SPS is below whatever. I think that there could be a very slow period of time in end of Q3, Q4 next year. Now, there will be land hype, which could get interesting, right? And you'll notice that land is nowhere on this list because I'm not excited about it. But that's a topic for another video. When it comes to capitulation, if a new set comes out and then it quickly just dies off, right? And we're still struggling with getting DEC to peg, we're still struggling with SPS, falling in value and no utility and all these different things. I think that like the end of Q3, early Q4 could be very drastic, very dramatic, right? Because people would have like given it, they were coming up to the end of the year. Everybody saw what happened at the end of 2023. And if it's just more deflation that's happening, and not a good deflation, I mean like I'm deflated in my emotions in terms of like how I feel about things. That's another period of time that I think, you could see a lot of capitulation and exit from the game. So again, it's not that I'm excited for it. I'm just trying to look ahead to what could happen in those parts of the year. Now, the reason to be excited in some ways is because I do believe that Splinterlands has a future and will be around and can survive the bear market. Again, I would prefer it to thrive, but I have a lot of confidence that at the very least it can survive. They have an 18-month runway roughly, so that brings us to the middle of 2024. So at least for 2023, we should be safe. Safe meaning the game is going to be there. Not saying that, if things get worse, then they may have to reduce staff or cut costs or whatever. But again, this is what I'm supposed to be excited for. So when I'm saying that, when I'm looking at capitulation, I'm hoping that it is a true bottom for the project, for the global macro, whatever it ends up being. I'm hoping that it can be a true bottom. And from there, we will start to see a not a rise or a rapid rise in prices, but we'll see who's left, right? We'll just see who is still around. If the player base goes back down to like 5,000, 8,000, like it was before, before the big boom last year, like who's still in it? And, I think there's always going to be opportunity when that happens. Some people are going to back up the truck when SPS hits a penny. Some people will back up the truck when SPS hits half a cent, right? So I don't know. It's not that I'm excited for those things, but I hope that they happen because they have to, right? They have to happen in order for us to find a bottom. So my hope, again, excited is a weird for it, but my hope is that we see that at some point in 2023. I would rather not extend this bear market multiple years from 2022 all the way to 2024. So those are my 5 biggest things that I'm excited for this upcoming year. I would love to know your thoughts on this list, and I would love to know what is on your list, specifically, what is on your list that is not here, or what is something that you think shouldn't be on my list. Very curious to get your thoughts. I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.